Hi guys, today we're going to talk about multiplying fractions and whole numbers. And the I can statements we're working on are, I can describe how to multiply fractions using models and algorithms. And an algorithm, remember, is just a fancy word for a set of procedures or rules to solve a problem or to complete a computation. And the other I can statement we're working on is, I can multiply fractions by whole numbers. And we have a special treat today because Mrs. Smart is here and she's going to help us with this lesson.
Hi guys, I'm here to remind you of two things to remember. One, what does the word of usually mean when solving problems in math? Of means times or multiply. Number two, how can I write a whole number as a fraction? And for this example, you'll see the number 7 written just like normal, and then 7 written as a fraction. 7 over 1 means the same as just the number 7. Also, another way of writing 7 is 14 over 2, because you know that bar means divide, and 14 divided by 2 means 7. You can also see that if you multiply 7 times 2, you get 14. Whatever you do to the top, you also do to the bottom, and 1 times 2 is 2. Again, you'll see 7 times 3 is 21, and 1 times 3 is 3. All of these fractions equal 7. Next is the number 9. 9 over 1 equals 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 1 times 2 is 2. So 18 over 2 also equals 9. And 27 over 3 also equals 9. Finally, we'll do it with the number 16. 16 over 1 equals 16. And 32 over 2 also, when simplified, equals 16.
Okay, so let's use what we know to solve some multiplication problems. Remember, the word of means to multiply. So if I had 1/2 times 4, what I'm really saying is that I need half of 4. So I'll take these 4 spheres and I'll cut them in half, each one of them, and that leaves me with 2 whole spheres. So 1/2 times 4 equals 2, or half of 4 is 2. Let's try 2/3 times 6. And we're going to take a slightly different model to show this. So if I wanted to see this problem, or say this problem out loud, I could say I need 2/3 of 6. This means I need to start with 6 wholes. And if I want 2/3 of them, the first thing I need to do is split the group into 3 equal parts. So I have thirds and take 2 of them. So I have 2/3 of my group. That leaves me with 4. So 2/3 of 6 equals 4. Let's look at another model. Let's look at 5 times 3/4. We would say we have 5 groups of 3/4, and we would start with 3/4. Here we go. I have 3 out of my 4 squares shaded in. And how many groups of that do I need? 5. So I'm going to repeat that 3/4 5 times. Now let's look at this and fill in our empty spaces. Let's take them and fill them in. And you'll see that I have 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15 squares shaded in. The whole was a 4th. So how many holes does that make? 3 holes. And I'm left with this extra piece of 3/4. So I could say I have 15/4, or 3 holes and 3/4. So when I multiplied 5 times 3/4, what happened to my product? Take a minute and answer this question in your WSQ, and then hit play, and we'll do some practice. Okay, before we practice, let's look back at the problems we just talked about. We had 1/2 times 4, and we said that equaled 2. Now let's think about what Ms. Smart said. 2 over 1 is a fraction. Sorry, we'll have to wait until the bell's done ringing. Okay, so we can make equivalent fractions here. if I multiply 2 times 2, that gives me 4, and 1 times 2 gives me 2. So 4 over 2 is another way I could write this problem, but I didn't write it this way because it needs to be in simplest terms. But maybe looking at this will help us make some observations later on. The second problem, same thing. 2/3 times 6 equals 4. Well, what are some other ways we can write 4 as a fraction? 4 over 1. We could write it 8 over 2. We could also write it 12 over 3. And also look at the third problem, 5 times 3/4, which was 15/4. And later, when we simplified it, turned it into a mixed number, we got 3 3/4. So, pause the video for 1 second. You're going to hit play again. But make some observations in the summary section of your WSQ about the products. Describe how to find the answers to these problems mathematically. All right, let's practice your rule. So try out the method that you described on these problems, 1 through 4, and check your answer by drawing a model. And you can look back through the video and use any of the models that we've already talked about, or you can make up one of your own to prove your answer and your method correct. After you finish this, we're done with the video, and we will see you tomorrow.
Good luck. It was fun being your guest speaker today.